Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky15, and in this video I'll be giving you my Lucky 15 predictions for tomorrow's horse racing action as usual here on the channel. Before we get stuck into tomorrow's horse racing actions, just want to reflect on how our selections ran at the weekend. Our latest vlog was on Saturday and it was a little bit annoying on Saturday. We hit the crossbar a couple of times and we had 3 seconds on the day, and it was slightly frustrating there that we couldn't get a winner, so sorry for not getting you any winners on Saturday. Also as well, I did some previews, you might remember, of the guineas for the 2000 and 1000 guineas. We did okay in the 2000 guineas. I put Saxon Wire in my top 3 and obviously he won. Also as well, I saw someone put Tip to Win for Roger Till, and it was a really good performance in the end by that horse. Final SP I think on the day was 50 to 1 and he was a really good performance, and I saw someone in the comments mention that they'd done it and fancied it each way, so well done you if you did back that one. Then if we moved on to the 1000 guineas, none of our selections really made the frame. Wild Illusion was our best pick that we picked out from our top 3 selections. Finished in 4th place in the end, so a little bit frustrating that we didn't get one a little bit better place there. But at Bilston Brook, well, that was a nice performance in the end, and it was nice to see a stable which wasn't Aidan O'Brien or one from the Godolphin lot, who were like John Gosden and all that, have a winner in these kind of races, because it needs a little bit of a breath of fresh air. And also as well, Lawrence ran a cracking race as well for a Northern trainer, so it's nice to see a few new trainers turning up in these classic races. I know Richard Hannon has won the race before, but it's just nice to have a little bit of fresh air and a little bit of a new angle in some of these races, so it was good to see. And also as well, another thing I want to mention before I get stuck into tomorrow's selections is that it's going to be Chester this week, and I'm going to be previewing all the races on Chester's 3 days, which we'll do nearer the time. We'll always do it the evening before the races, and I'll be previewing all the races and giving you my thoughts and feelings on each day there, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, enough of me waffling on. Our first selection tomorrow is going to be on the first race of the day in the 2 o'clock at Brighton, and I'm going with a horse here called Upavon, which is trained by Tony Carroll, who recently acquired this horse earlier this year. And Adam Kirby is booked for the ride tomorrow. Very good jockey book, and has a very good strike rate as well at Brighton, so that's always a massive plus there. Also as well, Tony Carroll's yard have been going really well, and I thought Upavon tomorrow was a really interesting horse, and for me was quite a banker bet. This horse has got a £10 lower turf mark than its all-weather mark. It used to be trained by Stuart Williams, and he always normally campaigned it on the all-weather, and this horse, to be fair, doesn't have a bad flat record. It's 5 wins from 17 runs on the flat, so that's not a bad strike rate there. Also as well, it's won at Brighton, it won last year, and I thought off a mark of 75 in quite a small field, this would definitely suit it. And I thought for me, around about 9 and 4 bookmakers at the moment, it was a little bit of a no-brainer, and I'm going to tip that up as our first selection tomorrow. And I thought really it could definitely show this class in its small field and show really why it's really a rated and mid-80s horse. So that's going to be my selection for the first race to kick us off. Our next selection then sees us go to Fakenham in the 4:15 with a horse called Potter's Midnight. Around about 2 to 1 with bookmakers at the moment, trained by Lucy Wadham, who's got a really good record at the track, and so does our selection here, Potter's Midnight. It's won its last 2 visits to the racecourse, so it will definitely like it. Jack Sherwood as well is booked for the ride tomorrow. He often rides not too badly at the track, taking off a good £3 now. This horse will like the good ground, and I thought really it was the one they had to beat tomorrow. I know it's been raised a little bit and it's going up in trip, but I didn't really think that was a bother. It's ran okay over this trip before, it's made the frame before over this distance, and I thought really in this race it was quite a weak race, that this was the one they all had to beat. And at 2 to 1 tomorrow, it's going to be my second selection in the 4:15 at Fakenham. Our next selection then sees us go to Thirsk in the 5:25 with a horse called Mango Chutney. Now this one is around about 5 to 2 bookmakers at the moment, trained by John Davis, and Philip Macon is booked for the ride tomorrow. Finished second in its latest run against some fairly decent rated horses at Wetherby, and it was a nice performance there on soft ground, and this horse really is going to prefer the better ground, and it's currently described as good at Thirsk at the moment, so that's a massive tick in the box. Also as well, it's a previous course winner, it won at the track last year, and it's often made the frame when running at this track, so that's definitely another plus there. So really I thought tomorrow, still being only 5 years old, this horse could still take a few steps up the handicapper this year, and For me, I thought really 5-2, this was the one they all had to beat, and it's slightly a more winnable race for this horse. And for me, that's going to be our third selection there. Our last selection is probably my most strongest fancy of the day. The 8:30 at Ludlow, trained by Nicky Henderson. Jeremiah McGrath taking the ride in the colours of Gretsch and Parkin. Big owners with the stable. Now this horse is called Lust for Glory, around about 6-4 bookmakers at the moment. Nicky Henderson's got a tremendous record at sending horses to Ludlow, and this horse really showed a lot of promise on its first run under rules at Ascot a couple of months ago in a bumper behind a decent horse of Mick Shannon's called Build Me Up Buttercup, who ran a good race at Aintree at the festival and then ran a fair race at Goodwood in a listed race the other day. Also as well, the horse that finished second in that race has subsequently, for Susie Smith, gone on to win a race at Uttoxeter in a bumper. So really the form of that race has worked out quite well. Also as well, it was really green that day, and you like to think it will definitely improve for the experience. I thought all the other contenders against it were really weak. It also won a point-to-point as well when it had been backed into favouritism. So they obviously think a lot of Lust for Glory. And for me tomorrow, it's going to be our final bet to round off our Lucky 15 predictions, and I think really should be my more favourable selection tomorrow, and would be my nap if I have to have a nap. So there are the selections for tomorrow. Let us know what you think in the comments box below, what you're on tomorrow. Also as well, let us know how you did on the guineas. That's all I've got to say. If you want more horse racing betting videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel here at Lucky15 if you haven't done so already. Also as well, you can follow me at Twitter, which is Lucky15, same name. If you want to follow all the other things that I do with horse racing, go and follow me on there. That's all I've got to say. Please gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you soon.